The Blob from 1988.
Yes.
How many Blob movies are there?
Not to be confused with the one from 1984.
Oh,
There's one from like the 50s too, right?
I was
There's
calling myself a blob. This is a this is a remake of the 1958 one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's only two. I thought there was. I was feeling there's a bunch of these.
I think there's something else
Yeah.
that it's like I don't know, like a proper sequel or something. I just don't really know anything about it.
Okay.
But there is something out there. It's Blob Ship.
Blob ship.
Sir Blobonaut.
Huh.
There's a movie called Blob Ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. I like that. Just move it to a ship.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
a blob, but now it's on a ship.
Yeah.
It's like Ghost Ship.
Yeah, like Ghost Ship.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
But it's a blob.
13 blobs.
Yeah.
Over the Blob. Lord of the Blob. The Fellowship of the Blob.
House of 1,000 Blobs.
The Devil's
So-
Blobjects.
So many great sequels.
The stuff.
Yeah. I just kind of want to keep going with that now. Let's think of more as we go. So, yeah. Anyway, The Blob.
The Little Blob.
1988. The Little Blob?
The Little Blob Aid.
Let's not keep.
Okay.
Like The Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
The Little Blob.
Yeah, you lost
Yeah.
on that. There you go. You killed it. It's
Good.
perfect.
Now we can get to the review.
Yeah.
Robin Blob?
Oh
You
my
guys-
The
God.
Prince of...
Oh.
You did.
Blobs.
You guys made it unfunny. You did it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you did it.
Mm-mm.
This
So where did
Trust
this
me, we'll
blob...
come
this
back.
movie is,
Okay.
this is basically Night Beast, right?
Mm.
Meteorite
yeah.
crashes, things start killing people.
Yeah.
It's the same movie.
Yeah.
And instead of electricity, they kill it with cold.
Yeah, we start off, we have a little a shot in space. That's how you know things are going to get wild, is when you turn on a movie and it starts off in space.
Definitely.
I always think of Jake Gyllenhaal when he's like, I want to go space. Remember that? When his dad was a coal miner and he had lung cancer real bad and his teacher's real awful sweet to him. They's up there building them rockets up at Snake Root.
What was that? September Underground or something? October Sky?
Yeah, so that
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The house is October Sky built.
Okay.
So we start off in a little town. It's a little sleepy little town, right? You know what I mean? Then we start to
You're
meet some
doing
of our
that
main
again.
characters.
You're doing that again. You're doing the.
It's just become who I am. Then we're at a football game. Motherfucking football game, and we meet Paul, number 81.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
badass.
Oh,
You
Paul,
really do
is,
think
is he a badass? Didn't really seem like a
Yeah,
badass to
yeah.
me.
Shit.
I mean, he
man.
was like the captain or whatever.
He got
right?
knocked out.
Yeah, he got knocked out, but that's when he got the courage to ask out that
He asked out our actual main character.
Yeah.
little cheerleader.
Kind of makes you think it's going to be the jock, but no, it's the cheerleader. He asked her out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a chick from the Saw movies,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
much younger and
Not,
not
addicted
so
to heroin.
yeah, not so ratty looking.
I don't know if she's actually addicted. She wasn't the soft
Addicted to killing people.
Yeah, so he asked her out, and we've already been introduced to his little skis bag friend too. They pal around quite a bit, and then we meet Kevin Dillon, Brian Flagg.
Drago.
He's the hood rat of the town.
All he wanted to do was just jump that bridge.
That's all he wanted to do. He has his motorcycle. All we know is that he's bad news. You know, he tries to jump a bridge and he wrecks his bike, and we meet a hobo who's applauding with his little puppy dog. You know,
I never feel like they do these bad news characters very well.
It
think
doesn't
he
seem
did
like they do
alright.
I didn't
anything
li-
bad at all. Only thing he was doing
They just
was
have leather jackets
Yeah.
and ride motorcycles.
Oh, no, he
but
was
I wasn't really
I mean,
feeling.
he only
I
brushed-
wasn't really feeling any of the characters in this movie.
They're just
honestly.
out to get him.
he only brushes his teeth once a day.
He does actually say, "I have a problem with authority." He does.
He does.
He just say, "Hey, I have a problem with authority." Okay,
He puts it out
thank
there.
you. Yeah, thanks for letting us. We couldn't tell.
So yeah, the first few minutes of this, we're just kind of introduced to all of our characters and stuff. And in the middle of this, we go back to the homeless guy who has just watched Flag, as they keep calling Kevin Dillon's character. I thought the movie. The one that just watched him wreck his bike. It shows him in the woods, and he's like crushing cans in his little hobo village, basically. And this thing comes crashing from the sky and lands, and he goes to investigate. He's poking it with a stick, and then it attaches
As
itself to the
anybody
stick.
would
And then
do.
yeah, of course, it attaches itself to his hand. Ah! And we know this is the Blob.
It's on his hand.
You
now.
know, yeah,
It's got his hand.
it's got his hand.
He's running around.
Yep. And then he tries hacking that hand off.
And the Blob said, "No, we gonna fix that real
Yeah, I like that. He hacks it, and then it like goes further in, and he tries to do it again, and the guy's like, "Hey, no, stop doing that. What are you, crazy? Hacking your own hand off?"
I'm gonna run you into the road."
Yeah. So yeah, we also were introduced to a sheriff of the town. He's kind of got the hots for this little queen of the diner. The diner queen.
Yeah. She knows how to make a mean sandwich.
She's the
Yeah.
queen. I'm a double wide diner with
Town slut.
That's a little mean.
I was hoping she
Shit.
was whatever his name's mom.
He asked her out on a date. She's like, "I'm busy," and then she slips a little note. "See me at 11."
Yeah, I get off at
She
11.
doesn't want a date. She just wants dick.
Yeah.
She wants
Yeah.
a good
That's the time she
Good
wants to get
dickin'.
off.
D is for
Yeah.
diner and dickin'.
Yeah.
Diner? Hell, I hardly know her. One thing that I absolutely love about this movie, we're continuing to be introduced to a bunch of different characters, and you know, we all know the classic story of the Blob, even if you haven't seen it. You know, the thing is I thought I had seen this one. For years I've been rocking around saying the Blob. Not the original, the remake. It's the great. And I had not seen this whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
I punished myself. I punched myself square in the fucking nuts about at least 20 times in a row. And I forced myself to watch it for 48 hours straight.
Wait,
I had
you watched
toothpicks
it
in my eyes. Huh?
for 2 days straight?
That's 48 hours.
That is.
That sounds awful.
No, dude. It's good.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I'm a blob.
You're not a blob.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know what I
But-
like in this movie
Yeah.
is
What do you
the
like?
blob effects, man. They're amazing.
Yes.
Oh, it's
The
awesome.
kills are
I don't
great.
know how
ki-
the fuck they did that.
Yeah, the body gore and
The
stuff
way-
is really cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm not even talking about the body melting, which is also awesome. I just the way the blob moves around.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a mixture of gack and stuff, and it's actually looks like it's pushing forward, you know. It's cool. I like it.
It is really cool. In my opinion, one of the most applaudable things about this movie is it's not afraid to kill people. Like
Yeah.
there's absolutely no one is safe. Like there's a scene where Meg, who is the cheerleader who's dating Paul, you know, they're in a relationship now, and you know, Paul. Oh no, not Paul. Paul died in like
Well,
fucking
that's
5
what I was
minutes,
gonna say.
so,
He's
yeah.
you were talking about them not being safe. He's the one
Yeah.
you think is going to be the main character.
Yeah, then he
he
dies.
he's like the second guy to get killed. He
Yeah.
died, and it was awesome. I mean, so basically they take the can man to the hospital because he's got his hand. He's in there for a while. They're like, "Hey, what's going on?" They go in there. The doctor he looks at the guy. He's like, gets the doctor, and the guy's body's melted away. And then they come out, and this guy, whatever his name is, Paul, right?
Paul.
He sees some dripping, and it falls on top of him, the blob.
Yeah.
And then she runs in, and you just see like this stretched over his face, and his face is all like they did
It's
something
like
to
pulling it back.
Yeah, and he's like,
getting it
ah,
away.
just screaming through the thing. That was really awesome. And he melts.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think a lot of them are. You know, I'm not going to say this movie is like a fucking blood fest because it's not, but the kills and stuff I think are a little bit more extreme than what I was anticipating. So you've got Meg's little brother. Meg's dating Brian now. Brian Flagg. You know, they're kind of on the run together. They
Yeah,
want
Brian's the badass.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
badass. But anyway, on the topic of people not being safe, there's 2 little kids. You know, they're best buddies. One's name's Eddie, and the other one is named Meg's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's the strangest
Yeah.
fucking name, but it was 1988.
I mean,
God, everyone. Know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
Sibling Patrick.
yeah.
Um,
Trying to
so
run away from that name.
yeah, Meg and these two kids are like in the sewer at this one part. You know, the blob's down there, and they're just trying to run away from it. And one of the fucking kids, that was the point in the movie for me. Like, it wasn't Paul. Paul was like,
Yeah.
"Oh well, that's a shocker." But when the kid, you know, he's like underwater, and you're still thinking, like, "He's gonna make it. Come on, he's gonna." They never kill the kid, but they fucking fucked that kid up. They fucking killed that kid.
Yeah, they melted that kid, man.
fucking
Yeah.
He came out.
melted
He
it.
got pulled in the water and then came out a minute later, just
Oh
all
yeah.
face melting off. You don't see that often.
Mm-hmm.
That's only happened a couple times, right? In the movies
face
we've
melting?
watched.
Yeah,
Kid-
yeah.
The stuff.
Kid murder.
Oh, with a kid.
With a
Okay.
kid.
The kid actually getting it. Yeah, yeah, that was cool.
The one of my favorite scenes was the movie theater scene. Eddie, he's kind of like a little portrayed as, you know, he's just a rebellious little asshole. He likes horror movies and different stuff, you know. And he brings Meg's brother to this movie, and it's a horror movie, and they're not supposed to go because Meg's brother's mom
Doesn't like that kind of
follow
stuff.
me. Doesn't like that stuff, yeah. But no, that scene was super cool. You've got the fucking projectionist up there. He's complaining about the AC to his boss. Like, it's fucking hot! And his boss like, it's blowing full blast. You piece of shit. And he's like, it's not! So he sticks his head up into
Don Nuts,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
crazy Don
He
Nuts.
sticks his head up into the vent and he's looking around. Yeah, Andy, it's not. Give me my gun, man. And the blob gets him, you know, and the boss comes up there, and you look up on the ceiling, and the fuctionist. I hope to one day be referred to as the fuctionist. The projectionist is sticking to the ceiling. Whole fucking face is melting and shit like that. Picks up the guy, and then anyway, it starts to bleed out. You know, of the projection room. Everyone in the theater is going fucking hysterical. You get like a fucking flash mob scene. Does that mean dancing? It's like a strobe light. And like everyone's and getting jerked around by the blob and everything, and it's super fucking cool.
Yeah, it does. It's a little bit like The Thing, a little bit, and you've got like hints of hentai, you know.
Yeah,
Tentacles.
you see the tentacles going some
Tentacles
orifices.
coming out. Tentacles going toward orifices.
You guys always
out
do
of it.
this when the two of you want to say either hentai or
find ways.
yakuza.
We find ways.
You guys both just like you lean over me and you're like
Yeah, you know. hentai.
yakuza. Hentai.
Tentacles come
Manga.
out of orifices.
Fucking
Because I know
manga.
he knows about hentai. You don't know anything about hentai.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in hentai.
You're-
It takes about 10 seconds to know whether or not you're going to be into that shit. Hey, do you like tentacles going into vaginas? Not really. Cool. All right.
No,
not just
vaginas.
Even better. Even more of a hard no for me. All right. It's a little dive into our pastime, you know.
At some point, we'll have to review. Hentai is a treasure trove of insane stories.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Some weird gore in it too.
I would believe that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bible Black. That's a good one to start off with, Brian.
Yeah, I don't want to watch a whole series, especially not,
Oh no.
if we could find a movie.
Yeah.
That would be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll do that.
we'll do that, Brian.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys are keeping me in mind.
You'll love it.
Yeah. For our
You'll love it.
That's his choice for next week.
You'll love it.
Everyone's trying to figure out how to destroy the blob, you know, and what we end up finding out is there's this team of scientists, government special ops dudes, and they're investigating, and they get a hold of Brian and Meg, and they're like, hey, get into this van, you know, we're going to bring you to town hall, we're quarantining this town just to make sure everyone's safe, you're our patients, you're not our prisoners, yada, yada, yada. They get into the van against Brian's will. Meg's totally all about this. And Brian ends up breaking out of the van, tells Meg, hey, if you're smart, you'll come with me. I don't trust these guys. We don't know them. What the hell are
Oh
they
yeah, that's
doing?
when he says, "I have a problem with authority."
I have a problem with authority, you know, and he looks back and there's some red light shining on his face. It's goddamn fucking majestic, and he jumps out like a fucking hero that he is.
And Meg just shuts the door on him.
Yeah,
as
and
she's leaving.
yeah, she does just abruptly like it's drafty in here. Well, Brian overhears these lab guys talking.
Yeah.
And come to find out, this is an experiment that they were making. Intergalactic warfare. Is there, some kind of space warfare, germ warfare, biological warfare?
Gonna take out the Ruskies.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing in the 80s.
Yeah, and a lot of his fellow teammate, the head of this thing, they're not really for it. They're like, we need to contain this. And he's like, yeah, we do need to contain it at no matter what cost, because this is the greatest scientific advancement.
Yeah,
in
this guy,
history
the
or
guy,
something.
the leader of these guys, he wants to keep the Blob alive. He doesn't care about what happens to the townspeople. He's like, they're expendable. Whatever we can do to keep it alive.
What mean expendable, Rambo?
What?
No?
I haven't seen that recent enough to.
like we not really want it anymore.
There you go.
First Blood Part 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we? Oh, yeah. So we're kind of hopping all over the place with this one. I don't feel. I don't feel a lot of enthusiasm.
It's
off
a
of you
monster.
guys.
It's a monster. Killing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have to run through the whole plot, but yeah, it's a monster in a.
I did have an
in a
issue
town,
with
eating
the
multiple
kid
people.
holding the bazooka
Yeah.
up to
Yeah,
shoot off the
issue with
manhole.
that?
Yeah.
You made a mental note.
Because I don't think you
An
can
issue.
hold it with one hand like that, for one.
Oh, shit.
And then, two, if he actually shot it up into that, I'm pretty sure it would have killed him
Wow.
from the explosion coming down.
Stupid movie.
Yeah, it is. Thanks, Brian.
I didn't know that in your free time away from making that fuck you cricket money that you were shooting shooting bazookas. I'm just kidding.
Bazooka.
You are
Pat.
right, actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't really think about it. Just but yeah,
He's shooting a fucking blob. Who cares?
yeah.
No, he was shooting a
he's-
manhole.
I was kind of yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. I was disappointed it was an experiment. I was really hoping it was just an
Yeah, I thought
alien
it-
invasion. I mean, it doesn't make much of a difference, but I like the alien invasion more. Like we're just sending out our blob seed.
Is that what it
around the-
was in the original one?
I don't
Do we
know.
know?
Probably. I have no idea though. I have not seen that.
The Blobby Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
So we do find out that bazookas, firearms, flamethrowers, grenades, it's okay with all those things. It'll distract them. It'll make it mad and make
It's
it
okay
like
with it.
blob
Yeah,
around a
it's
little
okay.
bit. It's just like, but cold is what it hates.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It
Which
hates
is
the
not
cold.
really the best plan if you're trying to take out the Russians.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, good
I mean-
point.
We'll do it in
It's
the
like
summertime.
they drop it out of a fucking ship and it just.
It's punk.
It's awesome.
Look at all this shit.
Yeah. So, Brian ends up being the one he exposes to the town. The lab people, the government secret force people. They're in the town. They're trying to contain it in these sewers. They know that's where it's at. Brian and Meg are on the run. Meg's brother has made his way to town hall, which is where they're doing the quarantine right now. And then after the great bazooka debate of 1988 happens, Brian and Meg, they're out in the street, and so is a lot of these other people from town hall and the lab people. And Brian starts exposing the truth. He's like, "You people, he's lying to you. He's lying." And of course, everybody, this is his time to like save everybody. You know what I mean? He's always been on the bad
Went
part
from
of the
rebel
bed.
to hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting up on the wrong side of the bed for years. Mr. Grumpy Pants. It's so alive.
Mr. Grumpy.
And now's his chance to make people smile. So anyway, he's exposing the truth, and the blob the whole time is coming out of the manhole, grabs a hold of the leader, jerks him down, and then it's another
Starts
series of
grabbing
chaos ensuing. Yeah, which that part's really cool. It's just kind of rolling around,
where
and
the other scientist dudes just run up to the manhole
like
and just start shooting down
just
into
start
the
It's
shooting.
really like Akira, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Akira.
Yes, I do know Akira.
It was just another Japanese reference.
Japanese anime movie.
It's an anime movie.
It's not hentai.
Yeah, that anime. Anime.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I know
Oh.
you'd seen it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
It's,
Yeah, they fight in the street, and
yeah.
girl becomes Rambo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They. Mm,
Their
Kevin
fire
Dillon.
extinguisher.
huh.
She fights with her fire extinguisher.
Yeah, she does. Kevin Dillon grabs a hold of a truck and drives it up to it. He's-
Snow
Yeah.
shooting truck.
Yeah, starts shooting the cold shit at it and just decides to run right into it. And Meg comes out and, because he's trapped, the Blob has taken over this truck and flipped it. He's stuck inside. He's breaking his way out. She comes and sets up an explosive into a bunch of nitrogen tanks. And she gets caught like trying to get off of the truck, so it's just her
like
setting
a
it-
girl.
it's like you almost imagine like that badass like Terminator music, like dun 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 dun, and she just dunk, just falls out, and she's like trying to get her foot uncaught. And anyway, Joe Schmo comes up and saves her, Billy Badass, and then the truck blows up, and then the Blob turns into crystals. And
And
they
it's
put it on
snowing.
ice, and it's snowing. And
because this is a ski town, and everybody at the beginning was kind of like, "Oh, we're gonna get
not snowed
we're not
in
getting
2
snow
years."
and the economy and all this." When it started snowing at the end, I really thought, man, this movie really missed a chance of being a Christmas movie. You know what I mean?
it was
Wasn't
a
that-
Christmas movie.
Was it really? I mean, they never
I
said
didn't
anything
see
about
anything.
Christmas.
I didn't see any Christmas stuff posted.
I mean, they never
about
said anything about Christmas.
Well,
but
that
I think
wasn't
that
a-
would have been cool.
Well, the bazooka, it was a mistletoe.
it. Huh.
Yeah,
I don't know.
my one serious point about Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that would, because it's like everybody's looking around, and it's almost like that feeling. They're like, oh, it's snowing.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. They even
Yeah.
kind of acted that way. I was like, why did they just make it a Christmas movie? They could have said it during Christmas, made it one of those Christmas kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I would like to go back. I think the best scene in this movie is the diner scene when Meg and what the fuck his name is? Flag. Meg and Flag. And then the diner lady, they're in there, and she gave him some food. And she goes back to clean up, the diner lady, and the sink is clogged. And her cook guy is like, I'll get it. So he's got the plunger, and he's trying to unclog this thing, and it won't come out. So he reaches his hand down there, and the Blob grabs him. And this was fucking cool. It shows this scene, that camera's up here, and his body is coming in, and his arm goes in, and then it literally his head is in and shrinks and sucks down, and goes into the drain, and he is sucked into the drain. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And not only that, the diner lady's running from it later, and you're like, this is such a sweet old lady. Like you were saying earlier, like, nobody's safe in this movie. Because you see her and you go like, she's the one that's going to last. She runs to the phone booth. She's trying to call the cop, and the Blob has completely encased the phone booth. And then it just, at one point,
She's like, I need Greg.
yeah, the door just explodes in. And however they did this, it fucking came in with force, because that dummy that was in there was fucking crushed. It was really cool. So I would love to see a behind the scenes on how they did some of that stuff. But yeah, I thought that whole section was really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. One last little thing I wanted to touch on, and then I feel like I'm gearing towards scores, if you guys are. I do think the scene with Paul's kind of skeezy friend, like just sex-driven buddy.
Oh yeah,
He has this, which you pointed out. You recognized her as a Playboy bunny girl.
she pops out of the cake naked and under siege.
Yeah.
Never can forget that scene.
So she's in a car with his buddy, and he's they're having drinks and stuff. And she's like, I've had enough. I don't need any more. And he's like, there's never enough. And he goes to his trunk and he's got this fucking, hump trunk. It's just like full of
bar.
Yeah, it's just full of booze and breath mints and strawberries. And
Hawaiian punch in a can.
Yeah.
A collection of ring. He's got a bunch of rings that he gives to the girls.
Yeah.
Like, I gave you my special ring.
Yeah.
Come on.
So he gets back in the car to hand her a drink, and she's passed out, and it's a little weird. He starts undressing her
it's
blouse,
getting a little hot.
undressing
One
her
more.
blouse, unbuttoning.
One more button.
Yeah, that's better.
And then he just like goes under for the tits.
Yeah, he goes in
Like,
for a feelsy, and then the blob, has killed her. Like she rolls over like this. She's like, you're probably used to seeing things like that. And then
blob tentacles.
And then the blob tentacles come out, and I think the greatest part of that is like her face caves in. It's like this. It looks like a fucking potato mask. It just like
potato mask.
like gets sucked in. Yeah, it looks like it,
What's a potato mask?
it looks like a fucking Mr. Potato Head. Well, to me, people are either potatoes or their feet. And that's just how everybody looks. But she.
It's this weird thing. I've never
Is
understood.
this one of your
it.
weird things that you have?
I have all sorts of weird things. I don't think
Okay,
that was that weird.
Can you
Yeah.
tell us what are we, the three of us?
Yeah, what am I?
You're a foot.
A foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that better than a potato
No,
mask?
not what.
just-
No, everyone is one or the other. It doesn't. It's not like one is.
Well, which
better.
do you prefer?
The fuck do you mean? Which do I prefer?
It's not like one's ugly and one's
No, everyone's
beautiful.
beautiful in their own way.
What about me? Tell me.
You're a potato.
What are you?
I think I would have to be, wouldn't I? What if I had
It
hair?
is mostly
What if
because
I
of the
had hair?
noggin.
Yeah, if I had like something swooping across.
Be a hairy potato, I guess. Sorry, I'm a potato.
Oh,
2 potatoes and a foot.
Mm-hmm.
odd. I'm the odd man out in this, apparently. Oh. Okay.
Where were we?
Oh
yeah, scores.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that I probably liked this one a little bit better than you guys did. I love movies like this. It definitely made me feel like a kid. I thought it was a shit ton of fun. In my opinion, it's very well made. This is not a extremely humorous movie or anything like that. I feel like you laugh when you're supposed to, and I thoroughly enjoy it. This one does get a 5 from me. I think it's pretty kid friendly too. I like the ones that you're able to be like, this is good for everybody.
I don't know. Some of that melting is pretty gruesome.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
very
really it,
terrifying
you know?
to a small child.
Well, how do you know, Patrick?
It would terrify me if I was a small child.
Everything scares you, dude.
That's why I watch the things I watch to
No.
eventually not be scared.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It just seems. I'm just saying it's not full of a bunch of terrible shit or anything.
Yeah.
I really like it. It was a blast to me. These are the kind of movies that I'm like, oh, this is a joy. So yeah, 5 for me.
Some of that might be with me. You said it was really well made. Maybe it's too well made for me. I like the really stupid kind of stuff. But I like this movie too. I would give this a 4. I really liked it. The melting stuff and the way the blob moves is really awesome. I think I would lean toward the stuff if we're talking about goopy kind of movies. Because I think the stuff is just more ridiculous if you're gonna have something to compare it to. But yeah, the kills were really cool. I didn't really particularly like either of the main characters. I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, the blob was awesome itself. The blob monster itself was really cool. So yeah, 4.
I give it a 4 as well. Did not like Matt Dillon's younger brother or older brother, whatever he was. He wasn't much of a badass to me.
He's a foot.
I was gonna say he was a foot. Yeah, hairy foot.
Okay.
He's a foot just like you, Patrick.
But no,
Oh, guys, coughing shit. God, we've all got it. God damn it.
Oh,
We're
man,
gonna
here
watch
we go.
Outbreak
Here we
Outbreak
go.
next week.
That's
You got
the end of that.
got some,
I did enjoy the
got some-
kills.
Yeah, don't run away. Don't run away yet.
Yeah,
Just
I did enjoy the kills and the effects. What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
I came prepared.
What are we doing?
A little late.
What are we doing? What are you?
Coughing.
Are you reenacting your older?
This is my mask.
Okay.
Is that
From your coughing.
it's a disguise the guy had in Wicked World when he goes in to rob the the supermarket?
Yes,
They're
seriously.
laughing now. Wait till you get it.
Okay. Yeah.
Guess I shouldn't have
I'm
kissed
just
you
giving it
earlier.
a 4.
Get away from me, kid.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 4, man.
I do have a legitimate question.
Okay.
You hated Kevin Dillon
Yeah.
because he wasn't enough of a badass. Like,
Drago was more of a badass than me.
okay, I understand this, but I'm just trying to
I
figure
mean,
out.
you see Drago do some shit.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, do you just want to see these people do terrible things? He didn't rape anyone. He didn't, like, beat up any old women.
Oh, I just thought it was
wanna
kind of
see-
lame.
I want
don't
to
know.
see the reason why the cops hate him. Not just, oh, cop just seen him. Hey, you turn 18 next week.
It's a whole new ballgame
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of.
big
That's
leagues.
it. You don't see anything that he does to
Just has a
cause problems.
motorcycle, hair, and jacket. That's,
That's
all you
all-
need to
yeah.
be a bad boy in an 80s movie.
Well, and in a small town like that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, the one kid.
No, I'm just saying, you know, a small town.
And then the cop's like, oh, and his mom's a slut. Nobody knows who your dad is. They just hate him. He's like the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah,
of the
that cop
town.
did just call his mom a whore.
Yeah.
Straight up. And he's like, yeah, whatever. She is a whore.
Yep.
Like a badass. He did, well, that is kind of what a badass would say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
He's a badass. I see maybe he's kind of a lame badass.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I felt bad for him.
He felt his pain. And he's always misunderstood. Always on the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
I started a joke and started the whole world laughing. You know that song?
I was saying I could sing it with you, but I don't know the
Yeah, I
song.
don't know the words.
Never joke was on me. You know,
Is that from Toy
that would have
Story?
been an ending. What if he just like, you know, Meg was still like fuck off, you know, and she didn't want anything to do with him, and he just took his motorcycle, he rides up to the top of that mountain, you know, and then he's singing that song, and then you think he's going to jump that bridge, but he just like just drives off the fucking mountain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then that song continues to
He
play.
flies
throughout
Flies
away
off to his death,
the
or
credits.
does he fly off like E.T.?
like Christmas Evil.
No, man, he fucking falls to his
Okay.
death.
That's cool. Yeah,
So
I like that. I like that.
That's been a review, huh? Do it! Yeah, that's what you get.